Nobody expected the offseason to hit harder than the end of the actual season. But here we are, and it's not even over. You'd think crashing out before the playoffs would be enough heartbreak for 1 year. It wasn't. Not even close. Because now, every other headline smells like something's burning, and maybe it is. Not the kind of fire that motivates. It's the kind that signals something might be falling apart from the inside, while everyone pretends to keep their cool. There's this Tyreek Hill situation. Yeah, that one. The one that refuses to go away, no matter how many times it gets brushed off. Rumors? That doesn't cut it. It's like a slow leak in a lifeboat you're still paddling with. Some days it's a maybe, others it's no way. And somewhere in between lies that growing knot in the stomach that fans have learned to ignore until they can't. Nobody's come out and said anything real. Just enough smoke to keep you wondering where the flames are. One side stays quiet. The other? Well, it doesn't take much scrolling to see the clues. Passive, strategic, maybe even intentional. But if you're paying attention, it feels like something's shifting. And then there's the defense. Or what's left of it. Last year's numbers? They weren't tragic. Not great either. But those numbers are now haunted by the players behind them. Players who packed up and left. Anthony Walker gone. Javon Holland out. Kendall Fuller not coming back. Names that weren't just on the roster. They mattered. They brought bite. They brought identity. Now, holes. The front office didn't just watch it happen. They moved. Brought in some names. KJ Britt. Ifeatu Melifonwu. Ashton Davis. Guys with upside. Guys who might step in. But there's a weight to replacing leadership, to filling shoes that already had a rhythm on the field. And no one knows yet if that weight's been balanced, or just redistributed with hope and a handshake. And while all of that brews, there's this name floating around, Justin Simmons. You hear it once. Shrug. Twice. You raise an eyebrow. The third time, and you're starting to wonder if someone knows something. A name like that doesn't circle a team this long unless there's smoke or desperation. He's not new. He's not cheap in spirit. But in age? Yeah, it's ticking. 32 isn't what it used to be, especially not in the NFL. But that stat line? That's still sharp. The reads, the instincts, the way he closes space. That's muscle memory built over seasons of chaos. The kind of player who could walk into a system and not flinch. And maybe that's exactly what Miami needs. Not flash. Not potential. Just steadiness. A plug where the leak keeps widening. Someone who's been through the wars and doesn't need orientation. But here's the twist, money. Always money. Limited cap space. Big needs. Even bigger gambles. Which leads to a deeper, more uncomfortable truth. This roster, this big money offense with all its shiny names and explosive potential, it's still fragile. Still waiting for everything to click in the right week, at the right moment. And that moment keeps slipping. Tua Tagovailoa had his stretches. There were games where he was the guy, where the ball left his hand like a promise. But the protection? Wobbly. Terron Armstead's retirement cracked open a scar that never really healed. That line is now a question mark etched in concrete. And what do you do when your QB's protection is uncertain? Your defense is missing pieces, and your biggest weapon might be halfway out the door. You compromise. Or you roll the dice. Maybe both. The draft? Everyone's got theories. Trade down. Stay put. Double down on defense. But this isn't Madden. This is real stakes. Real fatigue. The kind of fatigue that doesn't show up in stats. And yet, there's this undercurrent, this belief that something still might click. That there's a version of this team that hasn't taken the field yet. But for that to happen, you need decisions. Not slogans. Not hope masked as patience. Do you go after Simmons, knowing he's not your future but might stabilize your now? Do you keep pretending the Hill rumors are just background noise? Or do you rip the Band-Aid and ask the hard questions? Do you gamble your draft capital on protection, knowing the defense might get worse before it gets better? And where's the leadership in all of this? Where's the voice that grabs the season before it starts drifting? Because fans, they're watching, closer than ever. And they're tired. Not tired like they're giving up, tired like they care too much. Like every press conference that dodges the truth feels like a missed tackle. Every non-answer, a drop pass. The Dolphins don't need perfection. They need clarity, identity, something you can see, feel, believe in, even if it's not pretty. Right now, it's noise, it's contradictions, it's quiet exits and loud rumors. And somewhere in the middle of it all, there's still hope. Not the clean kind. Not the kind that comes from spreadsheets and on-paper optimism. This is the messy hope. The stubborn kind. The one that believes not because of what's happening, but in spite of it.